Hey YouTube, Darren here. I was going to do a quick video of how to fix a fuel solenoid or an anti-backfire solenoid in case you have any problems with these. One of my subscribers, msteel323, sent me a request asking me to show him how to fix these to where you don't have to use them, you just bypass them. And it's cheap and it's easy. If you bought these from Stratton, I want to say they're around 130. They're called an anti-backfire solenoid. That's the official name for them. But I'll show you what to do in a minute. I wanted to thank a couple of people for mentioning my name. First one is msteel323. I just mentioned his name a minute ago. He mentioned me and got me a few more subscribers, and I really appreciate that. SE500, thank you. Redneck Cowboy, thanks for subscribing. Chevys for Life 100, thanks for subscribing. I appreciate that. 157 Bradley 1, thank you. PETA 14, Jason Glasscock, thank you. Future DeLorean, Jameis 28, Big Milo's 1987. I want to thank all of y'all for subscribing. There's a few more, but for some reason it's not pulling it up and I can't see it. I apologize for that. I'll catch you in just a few minutes. But I want to show you what to do with anti-backfire solenoid. Okay, now we're back. This is a carburetor off of a small single cylinder Briggs & Stratton engine. This carburetor, we call them LMTs. This is an LMT carburetor. There's a lot of different ones. There's one that's called a Nicky that has a diaphragm that looks like a big spider web across the bottom of it. But this is the one we're going to use today. This is the most common, or one of the most common ones. Let's see if you can see that right there. It says LMT right there. Now what this solenoid does is the bowl is going to be on here. It's going to set like this, and the solenoid fits in the bottom. Now you'll notice right here you can see daylight through this. Now you can't, now you can, you can't, you can. This is where gasoline is drawn up into the bowl of the carburetor. This guy, the anti-backfire solenoid, fits up in there, and you see that it's blocked it. Now the plunger is pulled down so that fuel is getting up inside it. When you would put current to it, it would go up and block it. They work up and down. I mean to say, they can work from a down position going up or an up position going down. They can either push the plunger up or draw the plunger back down. And there's that working. So, but this guy, this is what cuts your fuel off. When you crank it up, sends current to it, it's going to draw this back down, and it's going to hold it open. Fuel's going to get inside. When you cut it off, the plunger is going to pop back up, and it's going to block up this little hole here. So what we're going to do is eliminate this little plunger, and there's all kinds of different ways you can do it. There's actually a replacement screw you can get. Mind the screw thread stuff. You can't put just any one in there. You can actually get a replacement part and put it in there. I think it's like $4 for it and the little washer that goes on it. Or what you can do is this. Hang on just a second. I'll just keep it running and I'll show you. I'm going to put this guy in my vise. And you don't have to put it in a vise. Adjust this up. Okay, I think you can see it. zoom in a little bit so we can get a better view of it. Okay, I think you can see it. If it's a little fuzzy, I apologize. You can cut it. Now you can cut it with a grinder or whatever. I've always just used these bolt cutters. And when you get ready to cut it, kind of pull up on it. That'll bring the plunger up. That's the little piece. And there's the solenoid. Here's a before and an after. There's one with a plunger. There's one with a plunger that I've just cut off. And mind you, don't forget about the little gasket. Some of it is a copper washer, and some of it is a cork medium. And now this is going to go back onto here. And you'll see that it's not blocked. So now the fuel can go through it, and this won't cause a problem. A lot of times when these things start spitting and sputtering, it's this, the anti-backfire solenoid, and it goes out and causes a problem. Now here's the thing. This is the hinky thing about these guys. If you do this, hold on just a second. If you do this, what you will want to do is put a fuel cutoff valve in your fuel line. So you'll have your gas tank, you'll have you'll have a fuel cutoff valve, you'll have your filter, and then you'll have your line going into your carburetor. And whenever you get through riding it, cutting grass or playing or whatever, you'd want to cut the gas off, because occasionally this will stay open, of course, and your valves stay in a certain position, and fuel will still feed by gravity into your carburetor. It goes into your carburetor, it goes into your intake, and it can go into your oil and wash your bearings. So you want to be really careful to make sure you cut that off all the time. Now, what happens? Okay, it gets in your oil. Well, you just change your oil. Spin it by hand a few times, and then you're good, usually. There shouldn't be any problems like that. If you try to crank it, it will not want to run, spit, sputter, occasionally blow a lot of white smoke out, and then it'll die. You don't want to do that over and over. But use the fuel cutoff so it can either go into your oil or it can go on the floor in your garage. Either way, it sucks. So you do this. This is a cheap fix for this part. I do it all the time, and I put a fuel cutoff further up, especially on the gravity-fed carburetors. On this one right here, the carburetor has a pump diaphragm on it. I'm sorry, let me move it over here. On this one, this has a carburetor right here, but it has the gas tank right here. It's not in the back. That's okay. I still have disabled my anti-backfire solenoid because I don't want to be out playing in the woods and start having a problem with this. And I have a fuel cutoff further up. That way I don't have any problems. But this is how I do this. It's a cheap fix. It sure beats paying 130 bucks for this. I've got a bunch of these, and I do this all the time. This is the only way. When I see these, I don't cut the wires. I take the wires, tuck them up inside, get a little ziplock it, and then I'm done. Don't cut the wires, because the next person, they may want to have it on there. So, and you let people know that you do this, of course. But this is what I do, and I'm still trying to get the welding done on this guy. I told M Steel that I was going to do this today, so I wanted to do this before I got back to finishing this up. But as you can see, I've almost got it. I just got the parts in place. I'm about to burn this. It's a rainy, muddy day, and I'm going to go riding in a little bit. But this is a cheap, easy fix. That's it. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.